I've had couple months to basically figure out what I'll do with this ship, and I think it's time to officially retire the Revelation. This ship will no longer be used in any type of active combat. I already reskilled out of Dreadnoughts a long time ago, so I have basically no skills for it. However, I will keep the ship. I'll have the ship here as a very nice memory of all the crazy things that I've done with this thing. Again, this is probably the saltiest capital ship, the saltiest Dreadnought in the game at the moment. And I'm very glad that I managed to keep this ship alive until the very end. Surprisingly, this is actually the first ship that will officially exit service. This is my first ever ship that I actually retired. I've had other ships that are older than the Revelation, but the Revelation deserves to have a very nice little rest, because this thing has been through a lot. And I'm very happy that I managed to make this ship alive for as long as I did. I actually got 1,000 kills on this ship roughly over 1.5 years ago, I think. Maybe around the end of 2021 or early 2020 or something like that. I've had the ship for a long time. And the story of this ship is interesting. This ship actually belonged to one of my friends, and they borrowed me to use the ship, although they have been banned permanently. So it just so happened that I ended up having the ship. And to this day, I still have the ship. So one of the reasons why it's very hard for me to sell this ship is because I got this ship from a friend, so I can't really sell something like that. That is just not going to happen. Out of respect for my friends and out of respect to the effort that they put into building this thing. This ship wasn't that cheap back when Dreadnoughts were the norm, the highest, the heaviest ship in the game. So today I'll have a little compilation of some of, I would say, the best encounters, best kills, and overall maybe the best fun that I've had with this ship. And surprisingly, I've had the best encounters with this thing a couple months ago, where hot drops were starting to become a lot more common. And this thing survived all of them. So 100% kill rate, 100% success rate with this ship, which is not something that I can say for all of my ships. Well, there are some that can go into that category, but none of my ships have performed or did as much damage as this thing. So yeah, it does deserve to be retired and to be kept alive for as long as the game is alive, as a very nice memory of all the fun that I had, and of course memory of all the players that I play with up until this one. So with that being said, well, grab some popcorn, grab, I don't know, a drink, beer, wine, I mean whatever you prefer, and lay back. We're about to take off, and well, I'm very, and just as a final word before the bells start rolling, I don't know what's my next capital ship. I have no idea. I haven't thought about that. Actually, I did think about it, but haven't really decided. I don't think any ship can replace the Revelation, and I don't think any ship will be as successful as this Revelation that I can buy. So I have no idea what I'll do. Absolutely no idea what I'll do with capitals. But with that being said, let's roll the footage. That was a nice little tank demonstration on the Naglifar. Well then, we are getting jumped. All right. Well, that escalated quickly. Now, what do we have here? We have a Hurricane, Caracal Sniper, Cyclone Command, Phantasm, and a Ashimu. Now, here I am trying to see which one of these ships is the slowest. Currently, I think the Ashmu is the slowest, and yes, it was. Well, there goes the Ashmu. That's the first kill for today. Now the Phantasm is moving at 2.3 kilometers per second. The Hurricane is also moving, and the Caracal is also orbiting. Okay, let's see. I think I can try to get the Hurricane. Well, the Hurricane warped out. Okay. We have a Caracal Sniper and the Phantasm. Both are... Well, I had the chance to shoot down the Phantasm. That one moment that I think you could see where the Phantasm was turning around, the velocity was 0. That was my chance, but I missed it. That's fine. I think the Phantasm will warp away. The Caracal Sniper is also moving. I'm practically waiting for their ships to start turning around. There is that one moment when they are moving very slow. That's where I should be able to shoot them down, but they are warping away. Oh well. We did shoot down that one Ashimu, and we lost 0 ships. That was a very nice... Well, not a gate camp crash, that's for sure, but nice little... On to this part. So, the bubble, well, our bubble is pretty much a sacrificial bubble. They're pretty much very dead. They're going to be very dead very soon. We have one Megatron, one Oracle, there's a Rattlesnake. Now I assume the Rattlesnake is a chunk with full-on resistances, so I'm not going to waste time shooting at it. The Cinnaball escaped pretty quickly. After all, the Cinnaball was one of my ships that I want to shoot first. So I think I'll go and shoot the Megathon first. Although all of them are moving, and since I'm using the big turrets, they have bad tracking, so I really have to wait for the right moment to open fire. I see the Cinnaball is back, but the Cinnaball is moving too fast, so yeah, that's not going to be easy to hit with the big turrets. Currently thinking about lighting up that Megatron, but I also have the chance to light up that Apocalypse Striker. Although lasers are not a big threat, the Megatron is also not a big threat, but they're moving. I'm 1000% sure that the Rattlesnake is a brick tank, so yeah. The Rattlesnake will be my last target. That Cinnaball is playing with fire, but I'll ignore the Cinnaball for now. Well, fun fact, the ships that I wanted to shoot first, well, the battlecruisers and other stuff, they warped out pretty quickly. So I have decided to light up the Megatron, because that's just one of the ships that I felt like it was the right target, and of course they warp out, that's to be expected. Now I tried my luck with the Cinnaball. It seemed like they got stuck, but yeah, they're still a bit too close for the big turrets, and I don't have tracking for the Cinnaball. Although their capacitor is dead, and they warped out, just like that. Okay, fair enough. And as I guessed, the Rattlesnake is super chunked. That thing is tanky. I believe it might be a passive tank. I mean, I can kill the tank of the Rattlesnake by killing their capacitor, and I'm pretty sure their capacitor is pretty dead after the cycles of the capital neutralizers. But since they seem to be warping out the second I start locking them, I need to focus down on ships that I can kill easy first, and that means let's go after the Oracle too. They most likely are using a large micro warp drive, which means I can hit them easily even if they are moving fast because of the big signature. They stopped moving and of course they warped out. Okay, fair enough. Now I'll try to ignore the Ralsec, because shooting at the Ralsec will be a waste of time at the moment. I'm trying to see who shall get yeeted next. That Cinnabal is orbiting outside there now. Yeah, I mean they're still in the neutralizer range, but I'm not going to shoot a fast small target with big guns, with big lasers. Which means I might start blowing up that Megatron Striker next. They're at 78 kilometers, a bit far away, at the edge of my range. And there is one tracking disruptor. So I'll wait for them to get a little bit closer. The Tempest is within range, but they are using an afterburner. And the Tempest is a bit too cheap. I don't want to shoot at cheap stuff. I want to see... and if I get lucky to blow up something a bit more expensive. Now that Megatron is getting a bit close, but they are already aligned, so I'm not going to shoot at the Megatron yet. I'll wait for them to enter siege mode and then I'll blast them. It should give me couple seconds. Perhaps I can catch the Megatron.
We're under attack.
In that case, they're already aligned, so that's why I'm not shooting at it. It's my tank, well, it's the revelation. This tank is a brick and they don't have enough DPS to break the tank on this thing. So, let's see, what do we have here? That Oracle 2 seems to be a good shooting practice. A good target practice. The Ralsec is about 16 kilometers. I believe they wanted me to shoot at the Ralsec. Well,
attack.
I knew that the Ralsec is a chunk bait. I mean, that's the Ralsec, a tanky boat.
We're under attack.
Yeah, that Oracle is playing with fire and they're stopping. Okay, I think the Oracle might get blown up in a second here. They are making a big mistake there. That Megatron is still aligned and they're not in siege mode. So I'm not going to shoot at that ship. When they enter siege mode, I'll blast them. That way I'm 100% sure that they can't warp away fast, because I don't have any points. That one tracking disruptor doesn't seem to do much on my turrets. Yeah, it doesn't. It only reduced like 4 kilometers. Okay. So most of my range is still in full effect, which is good. For now, the Oracle seems to be the target that will get blown up in one hit. Although that Megatron seems to be in it. Now the Tempest is also probably going to be on my menu. Okay, my cooperative on the Oracle is active. Let him get a little bit closer. At maybe 60 kilometers, I will go after the Oracle. The Megatron Striker is still in siege mode. I mean, they're still not in siege mode, but they're moving, so they can warp at any second. I can tell by the speed that they're moving. They're moving at about 150 meters per second, which is the default speed of the Megatron Striker. Well, they are warping away the second I start locking them on. So watch the magic happen when I start locking them on. Just watch. Megatron will be my primary, and of course, that's what happens. Second the revelation starts locking, they warp. That's fine though. But that Oracle is making a huge mistake. I was baiting them in thinking that I'm shooting at Tempest, but I'm shooting at Oracle, and there goes the Oracle. Okay. Now let's see who shall get yeeted next. Well, definitely not the pod. I'm not hitting the pod with this thing. I might try to go after the Apocalypse Striker, but it's a little bit out of range. I don't have like 100 km range, but I can easily get that if I change some things. The Tempest is moving, and it's just outside of my weapon's camera range, and just because of that I think that I might not be able to hit them. I will try to scare that Cinnabon by killing his capacitor. Oh, and as soon as I locked the Cinnabon, they started noping out. That was quick. Okay, that was quick. Look at that Cinnabon. They're already 7 systems away from me. I tried to get a shot at the Apocalypse, but they're a bit too far away, which is fine. The Cinnabon is a dual propulsion build. They have a micro-warp and afterburn at the same time, which is fine. I might go after the Tempest, but I'm not sure that I'll hit the Tempest. Probably not. Oh, and they also warped out. Okay. Which leaves the Apocalypse Striker as the last one. And they're also preparing to warp out. Well, this was actually fun. I'm actually glad that I have the big turrets, although with the small turrets, the small ships would get torn to shreds, but I aim to shoot at the big ones. The big ships are my goal and my target. Well then, round 2, we have another sacrificial bubble. Kinda funny. This time they brought a bit more ships. Well, let's see if they wanna play with the Dreadnoughts. Now, I think the primary target in this case will be a Macarial. The primary will be Macarial, then I believe after the Macarial we will go and shoot at a Maelstrom or an Apocalypse Striker. I'm not really sure which one the primary target will be. They have a bunch of logistic ships as well, which is not going to be a big problem. And let's see, we have a bunch of Battlecruisers and one Phantasm. I'm not going to look at the Phantasm because they're going to be too fast. Now I locked on the Logis because I know that the second I lock them on, they will start to nope out. My goal is to scare the Logis away so that we can smash the Macarial out. So we can smash the Macarial. Why I clicked focus fire? Why are my lasers not shooting? Oh, and the Maelstrom is... Now I'm shooting, okay. I clicked focus fire, but I guess that didn't work. And if that Maelstrom tried to ram me, that's a epic fail right there. Hello, buddy. Nice weather, isn't it? And it looked like a golden nanocore Maelstrom. That's going to be a secondary target. Most likely. Okay, let's see. There's an Interdictor nearby, Prophecy Command nearby, a bunch of different ships, and they are now warping away. Well, there is one ship that's not going to warp away, and that's that Maelstrom that played with fire. Hello, buddy. You ain't warping away. Was a grave mistake to try to ram one of our ships. I mean, you rammed us for 5 meters per second, but yeah, that's not going to work. I wonder what's the capacitor status on that ship. That's a lot of nasty capital neutralizers on it. Oh, I was prepared to shoot at the Apocalypse Striker. I guess the Apocalypse Striker warped out. Fair enough. Okay, 16,000 first hits. I mean, they have no capacitor at this moment. They used the damage control. They're trying to jump through the gate, but that's not going to work. And the Maelstrom blown up. Oh, let me loot the wreck. Okay, there we go. The prophecy is a bit far away up there, alongside with our RB that did not listen. Told the RB not to go, but they decided to eat. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Just that they'll be the one losing the ship, not me. Well, this was fun. Now this time they didn't shoot at the Revelation. Well, they didn't shoot at the Revelation a lot. 1.9 billion. A passive fleet build milestone. I mean, I could tell by the amount of damage that they were taking. They didn't take much damage. They're still in local, and I hope they come back. I mean, it's the smart idea not to come back. That's the logical conclusion here. But who knows? Overall, it was actually pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Not gonna lie. I think they actually were shooting at the Naglfar, but I mean, that's not going to work as well. The Naglfar is one of the tankiest Dreadnoughts, tankiest ships in the game currently. But this, I have to admit, this was fun. This was fun. I enjoyed it from start to finish, and they are still in local. Not really sure where. I mean, if they think that I'll follow them with a revelation, they're wrong. I'm not crazy enough to run around with a brick of a ship. And well, next starts. After a while, my shield regenerated to 100%, and we got a Apocalypse Striker on the menu. Was a pretty good kill. And that skin on that Dreadnought is amazing. You know, I kinda wish I had the Halloween skin on the Revelation, but at the same time, I also really like the Sleeper skin. If I had the Sleeper on the Revelation, I'd be very happy. I mean, can you imagine what I'd be able to pull off? What kind of tank I'll be able to pull off with this thing? With a Sleeper nanocore? That would be broken. That would be legitimately broken. 1.8 billion Apocalypse Striker, not bad. Next, tank build, but I decided to do something different for a change, and I went with tracking computers. Next target, an Ortus. Well, now this pallet is the same pallet that we encountered a couple weeks ago. We killed their Barghest, and well, now I killed his Ortus. Well, that's interesting. Let's take a look at kill, and yeah, 8.2 billion Ortus kill. The Ortus used the heavy assault missile launchers, a close range PvP Ortus, okay, interesting. And they used tier 4 rigs. That's why this Ortus is ridiculously expensive. You know, I would say not a bad build. Not really sure why tier 4 rigs, tier 3 rigs, you know, do just fine, but you know, I roll a heavily integrated revelation, so yeah, can't really complain. Now, this is a very odd little moment where all of a sudden a bunch of ships just popped in, and you know, I'm just chilling here, just chilling on the gate to see what's up. I have the the high-angle weapons installed. Not really the default chonk build that I usually run on this ship, mostly because again I decided to do something different, and I felt like trying out the high-angle weapons. And well, now I wish that I actually had the previous strong build, because would be a good opportunity to see how much it can tank. But I'm not worried. Again, I have a lot of tank, so I can sit here all day long if I feel like it. Now, I assume, well, I don't assume, I know for a fact that all of these Apocalypse Strikers over there have have the so-called, I think it's called focus crystal. So you know, let them charge up the focus crystal. I'm very curious to know how much this build can hold. It can hold a lot because it still has a lot of armor resistance. Now the thing with lasers, one thing that I believe this player forgot: lasers do really well on shields, but their damage heavily drops off on armor. After all, armor has a much higher natural resistance to EM and thermal. So even with, I don't know, like, I guess even with 100,000 DPS, that's not going to do much, even when those focus crystals charge up. And I'm just chilling here, eating all the damage, seeing how much the armor repair can repair. Now here my build is again focused for a high angle. I have a high angle weapon build, which means that I focused on tracking. The tank has been sacrificed in order for the tracking computers to be activated, and it also has been sacrificed to add the tracking computer general units. I have two of them. Usually I have a capacity battery unit and a armor repair unit, so that I can have maximum possible tank. And well, as you can see, I don't have to use the brick tank build to sit and just take all that damage. They're not doing much. Again, lasers don't do much damage to armors. Now, if I had the main turrets by any chance, I would probably be able to go through the Nightmare in a couple hits, because my main turrets have about... They sometimes can slap up to 200,000 when they want to hit the target, of course. The Nightmare with the shield field bubble is a big target, so even if they are moving, the tracking will be enough. But unfortunately, I don't think that my high angle weapons, high angle turrets, will have enough DPS to go through the Nightmare, so that's why I am not opening fire. If I had the main turrets, that Nightmare would be in some trouble. Now I'm trying to calculate how much damage would I take if I were in the classic chonk build. I think they would not be able to do much. I mean, they're not doing much anyways, but with the previous builds, that would be much more funny to see what would happen, because the reactive armor hardener or shield hardener helped a lot against lasers and against the railguns. Basically, all weapons that have 2 damage types are going to suffer if your target has the reactive hardeners. The capacitor doing well. The capacitor battery doesn't have to be used at the moment, although I can technically use the capacitor battery and just keep the armor repairers running at all times. Although there is no need for that at the moment. Somehow my alt also survived. I expected the alt to go down, but somehow the alt lived. Not really sure how that happened, but okay. Now here I got one idea. I could technically go jump, refit, take the chonk build and come back. You know what? I'll actually do that. I'll jump through. I'll go take the trunk build and I will jump back because why not? Perfect opportunity to test a new build. Well, not a new build, but a perfect opportunity to test the full trunk build. It's one of the best kills that we ever made in this game.
We're under attack. We're under attack. We're under attack. Warning, capacitor running low.
And well, with that being said, I think it will be time to go and let's blow up some ships. And today we will start with the special ship that I was talking about. This is a Nestor, one of the rarest ships that you will encounter in this game. And my initial reaction in the chat was quite hilarious. Now, when this pilot came in system, I jokingly said, well, what if this guy is a Nestor? And, well, to my shock, it was actually a bloody Nestor popping in. Now, how did I know that this pilot was a Nestor? I remember seeing screenshots. This pilot is a PvP pilot, if I can recall, and I've heard that this Nestor is actively being used in PvP, so I jokingly said that this might be a Nestor, and well, to our surprise, it actually is a Nestor. Now, based on the damage that I was doing on the armor, this Nestor was quite tanky, which means they probably used a pretty solid build, and well, there goes the Nestor. And you already expect a pretty juicy kill. After all, this is a faction battleship. 19.5 billion. Now, this is a pretty solid kill. And I would also like to say that this is also a pretty solid build. A passive tank Nestor In a fleet, this thing is really scary. Now the Nestor that I did show you a while ago does use integration modules, which do improve the tank quite a bit. But even that build should be really tanky. Now the next target today will be a Vindicator. By the looks of it, this Vindicator has the Ascension Nanocore, or the chip score that I like to call it the chip score, because on the Garmur, on the Spacepan, and on the Ortus, the Ascension core does look like a piece of chips. And speaking of chips, I'm getting a little bit hungry, although I'm recording at 1 AM and probably should not be eating at this late hour. Okay, let's take a look at the Vindicator kill. Should also be pretty solid, 4.3 billion. And oh no, oh god. Yeah, why? I have a lot of questions about the build on this thing. A very cursed build. Adaptive harness and an armor tank. Really? And one of my favorite ships of, well, not of all time, but one of my favorite ships that I would love to fly. And with the recent buff to neutralizers and with the buff on Nosferatus, the Revelation does have a significant impact on sub capitals now, which is quite hilarious, to be honest. Well, this Spacepan is about to experience that. This is a Spacepan that we killed like 2-3 weeks ago. I have no idea if I showed you this before. In the case I haven't, well, here it is. So you technically get to see 2 dead Spacepans today. Although unfortunately, you know, I'm so angry that I haven't recorded the previous Spacepan. Well, I have recorded, but I failed to save the video somehow, and I'm honestly kind of angry at myself for allowing that to that happen. But I guess I'll do better next time. I don't know. That's just what I think will happen here. In any case, that was a good was a good and funny kill, honestly. And surprisingly, the Spacepan was empty, but we got some debris, and overall I would say that was a pretty good kill. Next target we have a Macarial. Now this Macarial seems to have the golden nanocore, although I could be wrong, and the Macarial decided to go and aggro the Revelation. Well, that did not work so far, and I don't think that it will work this time as well. Players who think that I'll run when I get shot at, well, they lose their ship, just like this Macarial did lose their ship. And well, that should be a pretty juicy kill. We're about to find out. So I spent about, I don't know, like 2 hours, 3 hours waiting for that fleet to crawl out of the station, but that never really happened. So yeah, I was a bit sad. Next target we have a Balgorn. Well, the mini Chemosh is now going to be shooting at a real, well, quotation marks. Well, not quotation marks. It's actually a real Blood Raider ship. Well, thankfully, the capital neutralizers are quite efficient at killing the capacitors of the Blood Raiders. Now, if we end up getting the capacitor boosters, that will definitely significantly change how I would build a Balgorn or how I would build the Ashimo. I would use them with neutralizers and capacitor batteries, because you can sustain the capacitor with the capacitor batteries, with the capacitor boosters. That's one way how to fly these ships. That's how I use them in EVE Online, and this is a 4.6 billion ISK Balgorn. Pretty good, pretty solid. Not going to complain about this one. It's a Balgorn, and I haven't had the chance to shoot at a Balgorn in a very long time, so very happy that I was able to cursed. Yeah, that was a cursed Brutix. Okay, well, actually the second interesting target for today. A bloody spacepan jumped in our gate. This is the first spacepan that has ever jumped in this system. Well, the first ever that I caught on video. Who knows how many spacepans have passed through, but this is a fantastic catch. The spacepan is now into armor. They had a lot of shields. After all, this is a spacepan and they are known for their shield. They are trying to move around, but that's not going to happen. They have been webbed. I think they're trying to shoot our bubble, but looks like the bubble is okay. Just a little bit of a hole left on the spacepan. And the spacepan has been destroyed. Nice. Well, jackpot, I think. I didn't even have time to park my ship on the gate. Oh, what the hell? This is a empty spacepan. A 10.1 billion kill. Well, I mean, 10 billion is 10 billion. And we got 3 more to debris. Kinda weird why this spacepan was empty. But okay, I'm not going to complain. This is my 4th spacepan kill. I killed 4 of these things. Cannot wait for the 5th. That's all I'll say. But yeah, fantastic kill. A little bit odd because the ship is empty, but you know, it is still a spacepan, and I'm not going to complain about that. Now, here we have an Abaddon. Now, this Abaddon is, well, this is my Abaddon. I sold this ship 5 months ago, and I never thought that the ship will return to me. Well, not in this way, but yeah, this is my Abaddon with the integration rig setup, built for maximum tank, and well, I think you can definitely see what I'm talking about. This thing is tanky. It is super tanky. Now I'm here giving some
We're under attack.
commands to my teammates, to my friends, so that they don't die, because this Abaddon is super tanky, and they seem to be shooting at me now, although they stopped shooting at me, and now they are shooting at our Vigilant, which might be problematic because the Abaddon has some good tracking, and the Abaddon can hit cruisers orbiting at 20 kilometers easily. So we have to hurry up here. This is a very, very tanky ship. I mean, as expected, I built the ship and I sold the ship with the nanocore and with the full equipment. And the Abaddon has been destroyed. Well, that was one of the tankiest battleships that I've shot at in a very, very long time. We almost lost our Vigilant. They were in hull. The Vigilant was in hull. It was a close one. Well then, I guess this is how the journey of that Abaddon ends. I built the ship. I literally built the ship from a blueprint, and I destroyed the ship. It went a full circle. The first target for today will be a Balgorn. My Daredevil alt's already on the way to web the target. The Balgorn already into armor. Okay, the Balgorn now into 35% armor. And the Balgorn is destroyed. Okay, very nice. Very nice start. Now where is the wreck? There is the wreck. Let me go and loot. Because a Balgorn is usually quite expensive and there is a lot of salt in local. So not really sure what kind of kill this Balgorn was, but there is a big chance that we have a pretty expensive kill here. No cargo hold left. Well, that's typical. 533 million. The Balgorn dropped 2 Predator webs, which is very nice. Okay, so I guess I'll have to go and dock to unload the loot. And while the Daredevil is warping, let's take a look at the kill. 15.2 billion. You know, I did not expect to beat my own records in the same week, but I guess it happened. First, the 15 billion capital ship, it was a freighter I believe, and now a 15.2 billion Balgorn. Well, very nice. And this Balgorn is also red, which means that I'll be paid for shooting down this ship. And honestly, having extra ISK is always nice. The loot drops could be better, but I'm not going to complain much. Basically, going to get paid for the kill mail and going to get paid for the loot, which is a very good combination already. Okay, let me unload the Daredevil, move to item hangar. I have a lot of stuff in this hangar that needs to be transported to my main account to be sold on the market. Next target, we have one Vindicator. Daredevil on the way to web the Vindicator. Webbed the Vindicator already into hole, and the Vindicator is destroyed. Nice. The second faction battleship for today. Let me check out the wreck. My cargo already kind of full, so 9.3 billion. Well, I guess it's the Christmas present for us. This is being recorded on Christmas, by the way. All of the kills that you will see here are probably going to be recorded on the same day, so overall a good start. And of course my cargo full, so let's unload the cargo and let's return. Next we have one Ashimu. Triple webbed. And surprisingly, I did not do full damage on the first hit. That's because I messed up the orbit with the Daredevil and the ship did go out of the web range, which is my fault because I think I messed up the orbit a little bit earlier, and well, it happens, not a big deal. Okay, decent loot. Let's go back to the big boat. And let's take a look at the Ashimu kill. 2.3 billion, overall nice. A PvP Ashimu that had rig integrations and pulse ladders. Overall looked like a good build. However, I'll admit I did not spend too much time looking at the fit, so if there was a bad module, well, I did not see it. Next target, we have one Badger too that popped in. I was very quick to web the target. Or that's what I think. Now the target is webbed. Okay, the Badger has been eliminated. Let's return around the revelation and let's take a look at the kill. 1.8. Oh, come on, it did not drop the Abaddon. 1.8 billion, but unfortunately the Abaddon did not drop. Which is a shame, because I would love to have one extra chunk in the fleet. Next target, we have another Badger too. Basically, this second Badger popped in 30 seconds after the first one. Webbed, almost locked. And the Badger has been yeeted. Okay, let's return around the big boat with the Daredevil. And now let's take a look at the kill. You know, you gotta be kidding me. An Apocalypse Striker dropped. I mean, I wish it dropped, but it didn't. Well, okay, 1.8 billion. Badger 2 again. Both of them are red, so I guess I'm going to get paid for the kill mails, but unfortunately I'm not going to get paid for the loot. Okay, next target we have another Ashimo. Let's go and web the target with the Daredevil. Although I think I might be a little bit too late with Daredevil. Oh well, the Ashmo did try to burn to the station with a micro drive, and well, lasers plus micro drive plus the revelation doesn't really equal to a ship that's going to be in one piece, and well, the Ashmo did learn that the hard way. And of course the target was red, so yes, very nice ISK rewards are going to be tomorrow. 2.1 billion, my Quobdriv, of course, I could have seen that coming from a very long distance. Also a PvP Ashmo, although this Ashmo had DPS rigs. It doesn't have a lot of cargo. Next target we have one Tempest Striker. Tracking disruptors are on the Tempest. The Daredevil is orbiting at a safe distance. If the Tempest attempts to shoot at the Daredevil, they will not be able to hit because of the tracking disruptors. And there's a bomber that popped in. That's the secondary target. If the bomber stays, or guess not, the bomber has warped out. Okay, that's fine. The Tempest is now into 35-40% armor. Now the Tempest is into 50% hull. The next hit should be enough to destroy this ship. And the Tempest is destroyed. Nice. That was a very good kill. Okay, let me take a look at the wreck. I mean at the kill, not at the wreck. 1.9 billion Tempest. Okay, autocannons, a passive tank, passive shield tank. Not bad. I still prefer to use missile launchers on the drone boats. Next we have one Megatron launching the ult to web the target. This ship looks very nice looking. And of course, not really sure which one it is, but we will find out very soon. Megatron is into armor. Now they are in low hull. One more hit should do the job. Unless the relation misses, which happens rarely, but it did not miss and the Megatron has been destroyed. Okay. Let's take a look at the kill and let me loot the wreck on the alt. 472 million. A quite cheap Megatron. Looks like a build for missions, which is okay. Overall, solid.